election for the mayor of New York City is going around the corner. Who they go, former New York Governor Andrew Cuomo is running for the position as an independent, and after failing to secure the Democratic primary. Now, I do not live in New York, either the city or the state, but figure, like it, mayor of New York is the mayoral position that could be well not known globally, and might be one of the most influential mayors in the world. However, no, I think at least something to these cover for it's like anyone from New York City who so happens to find this video before the election, and all this could help influence decision making, outside for anything, even for president, and for governor, your may always be best to know more about the candidates before you cast a vote. I started off kind of younger. It's early life. Cuomo was born in New York. Okay, December 6th, 1957. I know his father has some Italian and heritage. And from Como, who had graduated from high school in 1975. I've then got a bachelor's from Flodham University in 1979. Can't really give you real Fordham is university is, though the Albany Law School is Albany, New York. Why it's called Albany is in Albany. That's why after you got your bachelor's, you got his Source doctorate. So I got go to know kind of the education and level all of the candidates, and kind of seems like higher degree of education, getting a doctorate is the best college degree. The highest level of college degrees goes from associates, bachelor's, master's, then the doctorate. Yeah, associates of 2 years. It was yeah, bachelor's 4, master's 6, and a doctorate's 8. I feel like a doctorate, I know your stuff, and as it comes to politics, like stuff like law could be really helpful. Oh, yeah, like law, political science, history. He, he, yeah, very, and like higher education, a little better, and maybe even business. Yes, have those fields helpful if you want to be mayor or like, but no, like later in life, yeah, Cole has some more controversies, like he's an election, and I personally can't vote on, I don't know, debate, hey, help kind of test it out. Yeah, being in politics, I see more like of his experience is that Cuomo had helped his father and become a governor of New York. Kind of, I see, kind of a political family. He, as like Cuomo's father was elected to governor of New York in 1982, then served 3 terms, and like, as I see, kind of more of like his family legacy and public service. Yes, that's why. That's why his experience of like running campaigns and all. Then, and 2 years after his father was elected, that Cuomo started serving as assistant district attorney of Manhattan. Manhattan is one of the boroughs of New York cities. He so feel like a little more on like kind of local, who kind of impact on kind of local scenery. So Coleman's like, and New York's housing enterprise for the last privilege, so known as HELP, was founded by Cuomo. Then in 1993, Cuomo was and became Assistant Secretary of the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. Although, like, would be like, well known if he's was an assistant, just flat the secretary, not the assistant secretary. But no, you see, like, he has been like part of like the national government, state government, like, and I don't know how would help with the head of the city government, but he's something to kind of talk about. No, that's but no, in '97, and Cuomo had became the plain out secretary and not just simply the assistant, but the actual secretary of the Department of Housing and Urban Development. Yes, I say, comes to the federal government. There's always these cabinet heads, there's always like these deputies, assistant, and secretaries. He's and but obviously though it would be like a little less known than the department head, and not like not as influential, not as important, not as powerful. Who that's like the vice president is to the president. And and but no, the housing Department of Housing and Open Development might be like one of the last known department heads. Has things like the secretary. It's more like Secretary of State and Secretary of Defense. That's kind of the Attorney General, who three's the only ones that that everyone should at least know. Oh, you don't exactly. You know who is the Secretary of Housing and Urban Development. You don't need to know Department of Homeland Security or Secretary of the Interior. Oh, oh. Secretary of Transportation, but no. No, but these some kind of still kind of played a role in kind of the Clinton administration, then Clinton administration, and kind of it kind of did play a little bit of a role in kind of national government, and though he might have less of a role since he was assistant before becoming the actual secretary of a lesser known and less important department. And because usually when talking to other countries, it's usually defense and Secretary of Defense and State, and the Secretary of State and the Secretary of Defense, which really works with other countries. His defense is more all military, and no state is more foreign. And besides, spit on that, in 2002, Cuomo had his first attempt at running for governor himself, though dropped out since the statement about the governor shows Pataki's lack of leadership during 9/11. 2006, Cuomo had became the Attorney General of New York. New York State. Says no, they became him governor. With New York in 2010, Cuomo ran for governor of New York again. And he stayed in the race and eventually won. And basically did more LGBT rights and women's rights. As well as some economic improvements, throughout history, people LGBT, exactly all that won't always be super accepted. And the same thing, like, sometimes women don't really always have held the same power man has held in. You know, yeah, the power, I don't know, kind of government positions men has had. It doesn't seem like until recently when more women taking on all political stuff roles. Yeah, 20 as I actually won for governor, signing a bill that legalized same-sex marriage. And it's like, I know, like, I know, like, first terms there are more, yeah, improvements of quality of life. Then, like, 2014, Cuomo had won election for the governor of California. Like, then, signs around in 2018, like, against that Cynthia Nixon, uncertainties related to former President Richard Nixon, but no, see this, you could definitely, Google it, if you want to know. That's all a bit of controversy with, like, Trump was warning, say, like, criticized Trump, sign of Make America Great Again, and that Cuomo said that America wasn't that great, and that America needs to work on becoming great. It was like, signs with political campaigns of the moment was like, always trying to make a statement that's how to argue against, so I feel like Make America Great Again wants that be questionable because, like, the poet again, like, and, like, so time seems like again seems a little questionable, depending on who you ask. Yes, because some people won't always accept it in history. He then back in time, yeah, so what is the time would you consider great to base off of? But no, 2018, yeah, Cuomo did, yeah, won a re-election for governor of New York. Then I get kind of now with kind of COVID-19, like, yeah, like, New York had its first COVID patient at most, first 2020. Yeah, no, yeah, Cuomo had tried, like, host lawmakers throughout New York to pass, for $40 million in funding to contain that virus. So, and cases exploding. And then, as well, like, science Cuomo had argue against Trump when Cuomo tried to get more resources for the state. He's in April, he passed order that required people to wear masks when social distancing wasn't possible. So, like, no. Oh, then, as well, and he made a requirement that made nursing homes take back residents who recovered from COVID. How I was faced with controversy, like criticism that increased COVID-related deaths in nursing homes. I feel like, hey, that is something that, things that are similar in my state, Michigan, that, Whitmo, or something that Whitmo was doing itself with, putting COVID patients in nursing homes, like, oh, now we remember something about Whitmo with that. So, back then, I'm not the most media, yeah, uh, literate, politically literate like I am now. Since it's been basically 4 years now, and well, has having been wasn't even graduated back then to know. But no, it seems that similar that something he'll hold here in Michigan. And I know I say one of these governors who came to prominence within like the past 10 years probably has during 2020 people who were in power in like 2020 see like some something's related to COVID, because something about Ron DeSantis. Yes, I know. Yeah, I know. He has something. I was something on hit about him about it. No, Tim Rose, something about it. Like, like. I know, like, go. Was like being governor that couple women had came forward, accusing Cuomo of illegal activity. He people had called for his resignation, and he basically had resigned. And they started down on August 10th, 2021. I was like, titled this way, but I didn't realize it's not titled, but no. No, like, relationships, Cuomo had to signed relief from 2005 to 2019. Then he had married Robert F. Kennedy, the brother of former Attorney General Robert F. Kennedy, and the brother of former President John F. Kennedy, and the father of current Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr., who is his daughter Kelly Kennedy. He from 1990 to 2005. That's like Kelly Kennedy is a very political family. He as well, whole brother Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is currently Secretary of Health and Human Services. Her father was the Attorney General under her uncle. Her uncle John F. Kennedy was president. And her other uncle Ted Kennedy was a longtime senator. But no, Como and Kelly Kennedy had $3 without Rory Michelle and Kara Kennedy Como. Oh, that's how you that is, but no. But before, since since I've made this and time I am recording this, that he is running for the mayor of New York. He originally ran for the Democratic nomination. Eventually, he didn't get the nomination, and he is currently running as an independent. And the time he was governor, he was a Democrat. Sorry. Anyway, about it, sorry, sorry, say, kind of controversies against, towards the end of his time as governor, he's so be mayor that we could say for his all of his experience in politics beforehand, that. I know he was governor, so the secretary of, the secretary under Bill Clinton, and so, no, as well as father was also governor. Oh, I connections to the Kennedy family. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. was very controversial for being Health Secretary, that oftentimes used more oh science is a little bit of some pseudoscience, and it's kind of views on vaccines, and all. It's kind of controversial. Health secretary, but no. Kind of diminishes his family legacy. But no. But no, it won't be the election coming up. That we will know exactly the winner is. So those polls all controlled. Democratic nominee.